In this video, we are going to design a car card component. And before designing this, let's see how it looks in a fully functional application first. Let's go to my application that is fully functional. And on the right hand side, our card is there, that is car card component. And when no car has been selected, we'll show a placeholder here that will work in the future video. But once I select a car, it will show our details. So this is what we're gonna build in this video, where we have a title of the car, we have a image of the car, and category, make, price, fuel type, number of seats, and control. We are going to build this. To build this, let's go to our VS Code now, and let's go to our car card component. In car card component, we already have a lightning card, we have a title, we have a icon, and within this what we can do is we'll add some padding around, or we can give horizontal margin. Both is fine, so we'll say SLDS margin horizontal medium, and we are giving this margin because we don't want our content to touch around the cards border. So now we have a margin, and now what we want is, first we want these details to come to our component, right? So for that what we can do is, let's go to JS file and let's import some fields. So I'll just say r underscore schema, and here we are going to import a schema. So I'll first import name field from @salesforce schema, and then we have to define our object name, that is car underscore c, and then the name. So this will help us to get the name. Similarly, we're going to import all the fields that we're going to use in this component. The second field is the picture URL field, and the field API name, that is picture underscore URL underscore C. Then the third one we want is the category field. We're going to create a category field, and the field API name is category underscore C, and object is same for all the fields. Then we need make field, create a make field, and the API name is make underscore C. Similarly, we need price field, that is MSRP field, and the API name is MSRP underscore C. Apart from that, we want fuel type to show, so we can create a fuel type field. We can import the fuel type field API name. Then we need seat field, like how many seat the car has, so we can create the seat field. We'll define the API name seat underscore C. And the last field that we are looking for is the control field, like whether it's automatic or a manual, and the API name is control underscore C. So now we have imported all the fields that we need to show in our card, and now let's go and map these fields to the property, because we can't map these name directly to the HTML. So we have to create the property, and those property we're going to use in the HTML. So let's create, let's say, closing fields, make them available in the template. So now we are creating the field category field. So this time I'm creating a small name and mapping our category field. Then I'm making make field and mapping it to small make field. Similarly, I'll create MSRP field and I'll map it to MSRP field. Apart from that, fuel field, I'll map it to fuel field. Then after that, seats field, and I'll say assign the seats field to seats field. And then the last one I can think is the control field. I'll say control field equal to control field. So now we have mapped the fields except these two fields, name and picture URL. I'll tell you the reason for not mapping it here. And the reason for not mapping these two fields is in my HTML I'm going to create a lightning record view form, and in the lightning record view form I'm going to use these fields, and the name and the picture field I'm going to use outside. That's why I haven't mapped it here. So let's create first our lightning record view form in the HTML, and here we'll say lightning record view form because these are not an editable field and we don't want user to edit these details, so that's why we are using the view form. Then this will take the record ID and we'll say we'll map the record ID as record ID. Let's create that field in the JS. Then we'll say object API name, and we already know the object we are working on, that is car underscore underscore C, and we can say densify is compact, so it will be in the compact form. Expand this. So now we have our lightning record view form ready, and now we have to use these fields inside our form. So what we can do here is we can say lightning output field because we don't want these fields to be editable, so we're going to use lightning output field. And here we'll say field name, and we have to map our field name here. So our field name, first field name is category field, so we'll map category field. Then we'll just copy this couple of times. So now I have category field ready, then I need make field, then I need price field, and I'll copy these 3 times more, and then I need fuel field, and I need seats field, and then I need control field. And here I want to put a heading here, like these 3 fields are belong to the other features and these are the main features. So here we can create a section tag and say other features. So now that's ready, but right now we don't have a record ID available. So what we can do is we can go to our app, that is our app on which we are working on. Let's go to the cars and let's copy one of the record ID. I'll go to the Ford EcoSport and I'll copy the ID from the top URL, and I'll come back and go to car.js and map this ID directly to our record ID. And I'll say right now we are using hardcodedly just to make sure our data is mapping correctly, and here we can give this comment ID of car underscore underscore data. Okay, so now let's deploy this and see whether we are able to create the lightning view form for this particular record ID. So let's deploy this. So the deployment is failed, and if we look at the error, it's saying invalid car reference to seats. So let's go to our org and make sure we are giving the correct field API name. So I'll go to here, I can say edit object, and I'm inside the car object. I'll go to fields and relationship and these are the field API names. So categories we have given, so they are giving us the error. VS Code is giving us the error for the seed, so the API name is number of seeds underscore underscore seed. Let's copy this and replace it here, and let's look. Rest looks okay to me. Let's deploy this again and see. So now it's deployed. Let's go back to our org. Let's go to our app, go to Car Explorer, and let's refresh the page. And here you can see our details are coming perfectly fine. And other feature is the heading, so we can apply the CSS to this other features so that it looks like a heading basically. So let's go and apply the CSS first. And for applying CSS, we have to create a CSS file. So we'll go to the folder, create a new file, carcard.css, and we'll create a CSS here. We'll say to the section tag, apply a CSS. Our font weight should be bold so that our heading a little bolder. We want the font size. Font size we want 0.85 rem, and then we can give some margin. We can say margin top, we can give 0.75 rem. 1 rem is equal to 16 pixel. So we'll say text transform, and we want our heading to be uppercase always. So this CSS can do that. We can give the background, and background we want something like gray color that usually Salesforce use. We will give ECEPA. Then apart from that, we can give border radius, and border radius should be 5 pixel. And the last thing, we can give little padding, and padding we can say 0.25 rem. So let's deploy this and see our section heading is coming perfectly fine or not. So now it's deployed. Let's go and refresh the page. Let's refresh it once again. Caching issue. And now you can see that other features are coming capital and the gray color heading is coming, and rest all is looking good to me. And now if I go back to our working application, and here now we are pending with the image and the heading. So let's work on this. Let's go back to our VS Code. Let's go to the JS, and here now we have two things on the top, name field and the picture URL, and we want it to be placed outside the lightning record view form. So what we can do here, we need the exact value of these field, and for that we'll use one method of lightning record view form, and that method is onload. We'll say onload of this view form. Just call the method handle record loaded. So as soon as our form loads, it call this method, and we'll create this method in the JS. Below this we'll create that method handle record loaded, and here it will bring the event, and from here we'll extract the records. Say event.detail. Now we have the records, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll say const record data equal to records of this dot record ID. So basically I'm fetching all the record data, and then from that record data I'm going to extract the value, and to extract the value we already seen our wire adapter, that is get not wire adapter, that is a wire function, that is get field value. So let's go to the top and import that. First we're going to import get field value from lightning UI code API, and say this function is used to extract field values. So this get field function is used to extract the field values. So now what we are doing is we are fetching all the records. Once the record comes, we store the data, and now we're going to call our get fields value method, and this method will take complete data. So in our case, the complete data is record data, and then we have to pass the field reference, and the field reference is the name field. Okay, and similarly we're going to do this for the picture URL field as well. We are going to extract the URL from the record data, the picture URL basically, and we're going to store this into a two property. Let's create those two properties here. We'll say product fields, car fields, car fields displayed with specific format. Now what we're gonna do, we'll say car name. We are creating two property, car name and car URL. And now we are going to map these data that we are extracting from this function, the property that we have created. First is the car name, this dot car name, and the second one is this dot car picture URL. Okay, let me repeat it again. What we are trying to achieve here is we are creating view field inside the lightning form, and whenever we call the lightning view form, it will call all the fields that are available under that particular object for that particular record ID, and it will bring it on the screen. Inside the lightning view form we are showing only specific field, but we need two more fields to show outside the view form because we want to customize their styling and we want to show the title in the card title. So we are trying to extract those values separately, and we are using the onload method of lightning record view form. That is method name we have given handle record loaded. As soon as the view form loaded, it call this method and it gives us all the record details that it has fetched, and from those records we are fetching only that particular record ID, and we are storing that record data, and we are using this method to extract the name field and the picture field, and we are storing in the particular property or local property, I would say. So now we have these details. Now we are going to place in our HTML, or going to use this detail in our HTML. So outside the lightning record view form, I'm going to create my image. I'll say image, and I'll say source, and the source going to be picture URL. There's the picture URL, and then we are going to say alt, and we'll say car picture. So we are giving alternative text. This is self-closing image, and now we want our title to be here, and we'll say car name, and we'll here our car name. So let's deploy and see how it looks. Now it's deployed. Let's go to our app and refresh the app, and now you can see that our heading, our car image is coming, and everything is coming fine. So the design wise we are good, and now in the next video we are trying to achieve to pass the record ID dynamically. When we click on the particular car, that record ID should pass to this component, and using that record ID it should fetch the details. So let's see that in the next video.